Jazz Band Impressions by Ben Hecht. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. Reading by Bologna Times. Jazz Band Impressions by Ben Hecht. The trombone player has a straight part. He oompa-oomps with the conventional trombone fatalism. Whatever the tune, whatever the harmonies, trombone oompa-oomps regardless. Oompa-oomp is the soul of all things. Cadenzas, glissandos, arpeggios, chromatics, syncopations, blue melodies, these are the embroidery of sound. From year to year these change, these pass. Only the oompa-oomp remains. And tonight the trombone player plays what he will play 1,000 nights from tonight. Oompa-oomp. The bassoon and the bull fiddle, they oompa-oomp along. Underneath the quaver and whine of the jazz they beat the time. They make the tuneless rhythm. The feet dancing on the crowded cabaret floor listen cautiously for the trombone, the bassoon, and the bull fiddle. They have a liaison with the oompa-oomps, the feet. Long ago they danced only to the oompa-oomps. There were no cadenzas, glissandos, arpeggios then. There was only the thumping of cedar wood, on ebony or taut deerskin. Civilizations have risen, fallen, and risen again. Armies, gods, races have been chewed into a mist by the years, but the thumping remains. The feet of the dancers on the cabaret floor keep a rendezvous with the ebony of the taut deerskin, with the cedar wood beating on cedar wood. The clarinet screeches, wails, moans, and whistles. The clarinet flings an obbligato high over the heads of the dancers on the cabaret floor. It makes shrill sounds. It raves like a fireless Ophelia. It plays the clown, the tragedian, the acrobat. A whimsical insanity lurks in the music of the clarinet. It stutters ecstasies. It postures like Tristan and whimpers like a livery stable nag. It grimaces like Peer Gynt and winks like a lounge lizard, a cake-eater. It is not for the feet of the dancers on the crowded cabaret floor. The feet follow the oompa-oomps. The thoughts of the dancers follow the clarinet. The thoughts of the boubilariat dance easy to the tangled lyric of the clarinet. The thoughts tie themselves into crazy knots. The music of the clarinet becomes like crazily uncoiling whips. The thoughts of the dancers shake themselves loose from worlds under the spur of the whips. They begin to dance, not as the feet dance. There is another rhythm here, the rhythm of little ecstasies whimpering. Thus the thoughts of the dancers dance. Dead hopes, wearied ambitions, vanishing youth do an inarticulate can-can in the heads of the dancers on the cabaret floor. The cornet wears a wooden gag in its mouth, and a battered black derby hangs over its end. Oompa-oomp from the trombone, and the bullfiddle, and the bassoon. Tangled lyrics from the clarinet, and the cornet cakewalks like a hoyden vampire. The cornet whinnies like an odalisque expiring in the arms of the Wizard of Oz. Lust giggles at a sly jest out of the cornet. Passion thumbs its nose at the stars out of the cornet. The melody of jazz, the tin-pan ghosts of Chopin, Tchaikovsky, Old Black Joe, Liszt, and Mumbo Magumbo, jungle troubadour of the Congo, come whinnying out from under the pendant derby. The dancers on the cabaret floor close their eyes and grin to themselves. The cornet kids them along. When they grow sad, it burlesques their sorrow. The cornet laughs at them. It leers like a satyr master of ceremonies at them. It is Pan in a clown suit, Silenus on a trick mule, Eros in a Pullman smoker. Laugh, dance, jerk, wiggle, and kid all you want, but the lady of the sea foam whispers a secret. Aphrodite, become a female baritone, still takes herself very seriously. Aphrodite, alas, is always serious. She gurgles a sonorous plaint out of the saxophone. The cornet sneers at her. The clarinet sneaks up on her and tweaks her nose. The trombone, the bull fiddle, and the bassoon ignore her altogether. And the dancers on the cabaret floor are too busy to dance to her simple wails. Yet there is no mistake. Aphrodite, the queen, abandoned by her courtiers and surrounded by this galaxy of mountebanks, is still Aphrodite. Big-bosomed, sleepy-eyed, and sad-lipped, She walks invisible among the dancers on the cabaret floor, and they listen to her voice out of the saxophone. The drums, the piano, and the violin give her a fluttering drape, but there are things to be seen. This is not the Aphrodite of the Blue Danube waltz, but a duskier, more mystical lady. There are no roses on her cheeks, no lilies in her skin. She is colored like a panther flower, and her limbs are heavy with taboo magic. But she is still imperial. In vain the mountebanks and burlesqueries of her court. Her lips place themselves against the hearts of the dancers on the cabaret floor, and she croons her ancient hymns. The hearts of the dancers give themselves to the saxophone. Their feet keep a rendezvous with the oompa-oomps. Their thoughts dance on the slack wire of the clarinet. Their veins beat time to the whinny of the derby-wreathed cornet. The fiddles and the drums are partners for their arms and their muscles, but their hearts embrace shyly the mother Aphrodite. Their hearts listen sadly and proudly, and they almost forget to dance. Midnight approaches. Enameled faces, stenciled smiles, painted eyes, and slants of colored hats. These are the women. Careless, polite, suave, grinning. These are the men. The jazz band plays. The cabaret floor, jammed, seems to be moving around like a groaning turnstile. Bodies are hidden. The spotlight from the balcony begins to throw a series of colors. Melody is lost. The jazz band is hammering like a mad blacksmith. Wang, bam, wang, bam. Nobody hears the music of the band. Bodies together move on the turnstile floor. This is the part of the feast of Belshazzar that the authorities censored in a Griffith movie. This is the description of Tiberius's court that the authorities suppressed. Here are the poems that hide on the forbidden shelves of the public library. The pulp of figures dissolves. The hammering band has finished. Men and women, grown suddenly polite and social, return to their tables. Citizens of a neighborhood, toilers, clerks, four-flushers, wives, husbands, gropers, nobodies, less than nobodies, watch and see where they go, into the brick holes, into the apartment buildings. They pack themselves away like ants in an anthill. The nobodies, the gropers, husbands, wage earners, four-flushers, but they made a violent picture a moment ago. Under the revolving colors of the floodlight and the hammering, whinnying music of the jazz band, they became again the mask of Dionysus, the ancient satanical mask which nature slips over her head when in quest of diversion. End of Jazz Band Impressions by Ben Hecht.